Hey guys, Christina with Forever Bored Soapery here. I'm playing with my camera, trying to figure out where to put it, but this will be the spot today. I am making life choices at the moment. So I decided I wanted to try to do a soap with really thin straight lines and multiple layers of it. So originally in my head, I was thinking of doing multiple purples. So I've got this purple violet mica, a neon pigment purple, a magic violet mica, and an eggplant mica, all from Windy Point. I was going to do the different levels of purple, which I still think would be cool, but I was stuck on doing a more vibrant soap, I guess. And I feel like with all the multiple colors, it'll have a nice slow gradual, but it won't be just in your face sort of thing. So I changed my mind and I decided I'm going to do a white, black, and purple layer. In what order, I don't know yet. Maybe white, black, purple. Sure. Anyways, I'm going to do those 3 layers instead in my soap. And then my big plan was, I was like, yeah, and I'm going to do another grape soap with the leftover galactic grape that I have. Because everybody is in love with that scent. I've been selling a ton of the bars that I made last go round, except I went into my storage room here. I don't have any left. I think I used it all. I made a custom order of grape lotion for somebody who really loved the grape scent, and I think I used the last of it in that. So I was like, what do I do? So then what I did is I went to my shelves and I've got my bitter almond oil, which I love. I think it smells like maraschino cherries, and I know it soaps really, really well. I like this one. It's usually what I use in my rainbow soap, and it's the only one that I use that in at the moment because so many people have almond allergies. So I actually have a little warning on that particular soap that it contains nuts, just so that people know that that issue is there. But I'm also thinking I don't know, for me sometimes the smells I associate with certain colors, and I don't associate that with purple. So then I found the black raspberry vanilla I had picked up for my sister who wanted the scrub in the black raspberry vanilla. And I thought about using it, so I went and checked, and it says that it doesn't just accelerate trace at all. In fact, some of the reviews say that it slows trace, which is fantabulous for what I plan to do. So I like that, but I don't know, the smell's okay. I don't love this smell. It's fine. It just doesn't wow me. But I've also had customers asking me for the black raspberry or blackberry and sugared violets fragrance. I do that in my scrubs, in my deodorants, lotions. Everybody loves that scent. And they've been asking for it in soaps. And I had it in my head that the reason I hadn't done it was because it accelerated trace. But according to Windy Point's website, it does not accelerate trace. So I have my doubts, but I'm going to choose to trust Windy Point, I think is my plan. And I'm going to go for a blackberry and sugared violet soap, and I'm going to do the layers in that soap. And if they're lying to me and it accelerates trace, I guess we just plump it all in there and we get what we get. Anyways, I think that's the way I'm going to choose to go with it. So a little bit scared about how things will go, but we'll see. We're gonna give it a shot. I'm not feeling super confident. I feel like I've played this game before, but I can't find any notes, any proof, anything that I've actually made this one in soap. So I may have just made an assumption because it's a florally scent that it in fact will accelerate. And according to their website, I'm wrong, it does not. So we are going to trust them. We're gonna give it a go. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I think the colors will look great anyways. So even if we have to just plop it all in there, it should be fine. So that's the plan. So we're gonna go white, black, and purple layers. And I think in that order, white, black, purple. And then we're going to do blackberry and sugared violets as the fragrance. We'll get rid of these guys and these guys, and we'll see how she goes. Okay, we'll try this again. So I've got my canola oil in there. Customer has left. Coconut oil I've added in already as well. And I just realized I'm not wearing my gloves, so let's do that. Just getting ahead of myself. So then we got to add in our kaolin clay and our lye solution and our goat's milk. So I am going to do the kaolin clay at the normal rate. My oils are at their normal rate, but I'm not going to do my water discount this time because I want it to be nice and fluid. I'm not going to do a water discount. So we'll see, fingers crossed, how that goes. I just want to double check. I think we're okay here, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, I just had a little bit of frozen pieces in there. I wanted to make sure that they had all melted down. I'm going to pop that in there. All right, and then the next thing we need is our lye solution. I'm just going to put on my shirt really quick. Because I know how much you guys appreciate it when I wear my long sleeves. I totally understand. It is definitely a good safety procedure, and with how messy I am soaping, it would make sense that I should be wearing this shirt. Who knows? So I've got my lye solution was all pre-mixed. I did a master batch of it here the other day. So it's good. And we're blending. Here we go. Now to make some noise. Oh, I'm not plugged in. Sounded like a good idea. Stay. I also just realized I'm still sitting on the scale. We don't need that. I'm really proud of myself when I unplug everything. I almost always leave everything plugged in, but then I'm always forgetting to plug it back in again. Okay. Taking a while, not too concerned about getting it all the way mixed just yet because we got lots of colors to do. So we're going to hold off on that for a minute. Set that over there. And then just really quickly, oops, turn this aside so you can see what I'm doing. I've just got some oils that I held back to do my colors in. And we are going to do, so my soap makes like 13 pounds, so we'll say 12 just to make my math easy, is going to be 4 pounds for each layer. So say closer to 4.5. So I'm going to do 1 teaspoon, 2, 3, 4, and I am And I'm gonna do a little half for a good measure because I think it's just over 13 pounds. So we'll do that for our white. And then we've got our purple. I don't know if I'm gonna need as much of the purple, but I do want a vibrant color. So we'll definitely 2, 3. I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna hope for the best, which is pretty much all of my, I left a little bit for another project to try. Not much. Okay. Whoop. And our activated charcoal, we're gonna do the same thing. We'll keep an eye on this guy because we want it to be deep, rich, and black for sure. 2, 3. These are pretty large scoops I'm putting in there, so that should be fine with 4. All right, so I got those, and then I have my little mini mixer. Just gonna mix these up really quickly. Ooh, really messily. Is it going? There we go. Looks good. And we'll switch her over to this purple. Sometimes I'll just throw it right into the mixture. Honestly, for me, I think it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I know that sometimes you can get a little bit of a color spots, I guess, in your soap if you don't. Sorry, bear with me here. This activated charcoal can get very messy, so yeah, you can get a little spots of color if you don't mix it up really good first. So it's nice to do that pre-mixture and just be sure. And I feel like when I'm doing something so fiddly as this soap is going to be, I tend to be a little bit more cautious with what I'm doing, just because I know it's more likely to go blah on me, I guess. Okay, so now I've got my 3 containers here, and I'm going to fill them up. They both, or all 3 will hold about 2,000 grams a piece, which is about, basically that should work out perfectly. So we're gonna try to pour these out and not spill. That's the big test of the day. This is the fiddly part about this one that I don't super love. It's kind of hard to get to hold it and get all the last little bitties of soap out of it. I would like, as I said, something round and just a little bit deeper would be great. But that's pretty close-ish, so hopefully we're gonna be okay. So we're gonna do this one color at a time. And I need some soap molds to do this one color at a time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mix all the colorant in first. It's not as mixed up as I I thought it was. I might have not had enough oil in there for it to mix up really well, but we will try this out, see how it goes. I'm gonna give this a really good mix. One we want to trace just yet, so we're gonna keep going to get there. Not even so much trace, I guess, as emulsification. I just want to make sure I get all the way there. And then we'll add the fragrance oil. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's do it this way. Then we've got our fragrance oil. We're gonna add 1/3 of what's in here. All right. And I gotta be honest, that looks like curdling to me. Okay, well that kind of looked curdling when I dropped it in there, but it's not doing anything this second. So let's see how far we get. So again, we want to do nice thin layers, like super thin. I see a little soap batter stuck in the corner there. Okay. And we shall see how this goes. So bear with me. Do one. And I want just enough to cover the bottom. It probably would have been ideal, I guess, to measure this out to a certain amount of grams per layer. That would have been really smart to get perfectly even layers. But I'm not doing that because I'm just winging it. Because that's how I roll. I'm second guessing myself and going, well, maybe you should just measure the rest of them. You didn't do this layer, but maybe you should do the rest of them. I'm hemming and hawing about that. We'll see. We'll think about it. Okay, so then I decided to go black next, which is this guy. Alrighty, and we will. Sometimes I wonder what this thing. It's got a certain way. If you don't get it just right, it doesn't look good. This activated charcoal is spot on. This is perfect. Okay, so we'll drop that there. And then we need to get in another half or a third, I guess, the fragrance oil. Yeah, see, like when it goes in, it's curdling. It totally is. Okay, that's good too. Just don't want this guy falling all over the place. Okay, so this one is, what is this? Not sure what that's about. Okay, let's get more stir sticks out for each of the colors. Cause see, yeah, it's already, I don't know, just a little bit thick. It's not terrible. Okay, so what do we think? Do we think? We are not set up at all. So we have to wait. Because I need the layer to set up before I add the next layer. I do have regrets right now about mixing this so soon. I probably should have waited for it to set up maybe. We'll just see. We'll see what happens. I won't do the purple yet then, just because of that though. We will wait. One of these jugs I'm going to use instead. So hopefully I can get a slower, gentler pour. That won't break through. Bear with me here. Okay, I know I'm off camera here, guys. I'm not convinced this is working, but we're gonna keep trusting the process, but I'm not convinced. I'm just not sure how even the layers are gonna be. I wanted them like really nice and fine and thin, but I'm concerned that they won't be because they're not the same. They're just not the same amounts, right? It's just gonna be however it pours, so it may not be perfect, and that will be fine. It'll be lesson learned, right? If it's not perfect. I think I'm doing okay in the sense of not having it break through. I think we're doing okay with that. Okay, let's put these back over to the side. And just because I want to kind of keep this stuff from setting up too much, I'd easily be able to give it a quick stir, because it is starting to set up already, for sure. Oh yeah, the weight's getting thick. I'm not convinced we're gonna get the layers I want, but we're gonna try to keep going and hope we get there. Now we need some purple to be gorgeous. Get this one going. I feel like this is the perfect color for a blackberry. With the white and the black layers, it should be good. Okay, and we'll get the last of our fragrance oil in here. This one's at trace already. Feels like this one's setting up again. Who knows if I'm right? That's thicker. That's definitely a trace. Here's hoping. Yeah, those are not ready yet. Hold it together. I think what we'll do is we'll use this jar for pouring out the purple in. Look how thick that got already. That can't be good. Makes you wonder sometimes, does the colorant have something to do with whether or not it accelerates? Because that's accelerating, where these ones are not. They're in good shape. Just makes me wonder. Wonder. Anyways, so far so good. Smells amazing in here as always. Blackberry and sugared violets is one of the fragrances I carry in my line all the time. The fact that I don't have a soap in this scent, at this point, I don't know the reason why I've never done it, because I love this one. I am seeing, I've got like the black has gone on the sides here a bit. I'm gonna see if I can just tidy that up a little bit. I'm not as fussy about the sides being perfect as more so the layers themselves would be nice, but whatever I can do. And since I have time in between each of these layers, because they take a little while to set, I'm not sure that what I did there helped anything. Just out of frame for you guys. And we wait, and we wait, and we wait, and we hope that this doesn't get too thick. The waiting in between each is very hard for me, let me tell you. That's it's just not my strong suit. I'm very impatient. I like to get things done. And yeah, it's just not my bag of tea to just wait on the layers, which is usually why my layers don't work. I'll get impatient and I will get worried that these are going to set up on me, and I'll start just piling it in there and I'll break through and I'll do all the things. So I'm really trying to be patient today. I'm not feeling it. I really want to be impatient, but I'm trying with everything in my power to trust the process, take it slow, remind myself that, you know, yes, it's thickening up, but I still do have time, or at least some time. I may not have enough at the end of the day, but just trying to not get ahead of myself. When I get to the point where I'm out of time, then I can start rushing and being crazy lady. But until then, just trying to be a little more patient is the way to go. So I'm just gonna rinse out my Lude. Okay, got all this stuff out of there. Literally, I'm just puttering at this point, trying to keep myself busy, but we should be good now, I hope, to start with the purple. So we're gonna give it a go and see how we do. And so far so good. She is a little bit thick, I'll be honest. Okay, I got one in. I'm just gonna give it a little shaky shake. Just trying to even that layer out just a little bit. This layer almost looks like it's trying to rice just the tiniest amount. I don't know. But like nothing severe that it's stopping me from working with it. Quite enough left. She's getting so thick. Just gonna give this a stir. She's thickening up really quite a bit, this purple. Oops, I need that still. And again, just reminding myself to do it slow, not to try and do things so fast. I have the time, even if it's speeding up, which I don't feel like I do, but I do. It's not, we're not in emergency mode just yet. I'm definitely making a mess, but I expected that. Okay, so as I said, this one's getting pretty thick. So I guess they all are at this point. It's not just one or the other, they're all starting to thicken up. I'm considering if we get to the point where it's getting too thick, that I might have my layers and maybe just mix these all together like an in the pot swirl type situation. And then the top layer can be like a swirly. if we get to the point where that's a problem, which I think is very possible that we may end up in that situation. We're going to hope I'm wrong and that that doesn't happen, but we shall see. Just this waiting in between each layer is so time consuming and stressful. Definitely not a soap that would be in my line all the time, just because of the time that it takes to make and the finickiness of it. I wouldn't make it all the time in this fashion. I will work with the blackberry again though, 100%. I love this one. I'm okay with this. I can work with this for sure. So I'll definitely use it again. So if you happen to be one of my customers who I've told I can't do the blackberry because it will accelerate, I lied. I do that sometimes. Totally lied. Okay, so I'm making myself walk away in between layers and go and do something so that I am a little bit more patient with everything. But I think we're ready to add another white layer. Now, I don't have a container for my white. Okay, because they did that. I think that is making a huge help because these big ones are too hard not to just dump a big amount in. Okay, here we go again. I'm so off the camera again, sorry guys. I'm so focused that I'm not paying attention to letting you guys see what's happening. I really need to get a camera mounter stand thing that will allow me to videotape over top of me so you guys can see what's up. It's definitely going on a lot thicker now. It's not just pouring in there. So I do think my lines are gonna get thicker as I go. I'm trying to decide if I should just lean into that and just keep making them thicker as I go on purpose so that it's like teeny tiny and then bigger and bigger and bigger. So that may not be such a bad plan. Do it that way. Okay, and we wait again. So this. Okay, so I skipped a layer without you guys, sorry. I might do it again, who knows. But I'm back, and I'm going to be doing the purple layer next. I'm just gonna load this guy up. Oops. And we'll set her aside. Bring these guys back in. So I will say my impatience is starting to show through. It's really setting up, and it's getting hard to pour. So I am trying to very carefully plop it on top. It's getting much thicker. It's not spreading as evenly. All that stuff. Oh, and it's sticking to the side of the jar, making a mess. Just giving it a little shimmy, just flatten out a bit. And we'll do round 2. On the plus side, they're setting up faster. Using so much out of this one. Pour is yucky. Okay. And some purple. And I'm gonna need some more of this. How thick that is. Okay. A little stir, loosen it up a bit. And when I say a bit, I mean a bit. After doing this process, I feel like maybe pencil lines are for melt and pour soaps. What do you guys think? Because I don't feel like I'm going to have pencil lines by any means here. They will be thicker. Okay, the mess is on. Okay, so I don't know how many layers that is. Was it 2? A whopping 2? We're really not cruising too quickly. I'm feeling sparkles today too. I might do sparkles on the top. We will see how I feel about it when I get there. This is just a lot of stirring and mixing and trying to keep things from setting up too much. It's holding its own though. It could be worse. Definitely could be worse. I poured the black into this guy because that's all that was left for one more layer. Interestingly enough, I say one more layer, but we all know I was having to refill it. Huh, that's great. I was having to refill it, right, to about halfway through, so it was doing about 2 loaves. And then I was having to top it off again. So at best, if by some miracle everything moves slowly, I might get 3 loaves out of it, but I don't think so. So I may have to come up with some sort of a design for the top. Maybe I will still do that in the pot swirl for the top. I'll do a layer of each of these. Well, let's think about it. Because we did white, black, purple, so that's 2 layers of white, black, purple. Why do I have so much white? Isn't that interesting? I have a fair amount of white left and a fair amount of purple still, I would say. Maybe it just looks like there's a lot. Let's pour the white in here and see. But I think there's way more white here. maybe just the way it poured. The black might have been a little thicker with the activated charcoal. Right. Okay, so even still, assuming we're not going to get a layer of each one in again, that I don't have enough soap to do a layer of each. I'm thinking in the pot swirl is the way to go. Regretting putting this in the little thin one now because I gotta scrape it all out again. But yeah, I'm leaning towards having those few layers and then an in the pot swirl for the top is kind of a just a fun little design, I guess. That's what I'm leaning towards. Oh, I haven't even wiped this one out yet. Shoot. My bad. I always try to wipe these out just to make it so that I can wash right away and not have all the oils and stuff going down and tarming my pipes. And we're just cleaning up the mess quicker and more efficiently. Okay, so let's do this thing. I'm gonna go one. That's a lot of weight. Trying to decide how I feel about this. There's a lot of weight left. Kind of want it to get down to the bottom pretty strong too, if that makes sense. So I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of each, like half of each of them. And then we'll give it a swirl. It's a few swirls. I may have over swirled. You guys know how it is. If you over swirl, you over swirl every time. Okay, and then, as I said, it's been setting up pretty quickly, so we should be good to go. We're gonna try and pour with the big jug and hope for the best. So thick right now. I'm just doing some leveling of it, and then we'll add in some more black. And I'm gonna leave a little bit for the top and a lot more weight. There's a lot of weight left, but we'll leave a fair amount for the tops, I guess. And then just trying to get the purple up into the color too. It's all kind of hiding down at the bottom there. Okay, here we go. I like the swirls that I'm seeing in here, like the colors. They're looking really good. I'm just going to give these a little wiggle wiggle. And then we're just going to go back and do another layer. I'll just give them another shimmy. Whoops. It's getting so thick that it's pouring big bloops. I don't even know that I need this anymore. We're just going on the same color. Okay, so those are wiggled out. Wiggled out. Okay, so now we're just getting the last of this onto these. So I think the only thing I'm noticing is by blending these colors together, I'm getting a lot of gray versus the black. So that should be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, so happy with that. Now we're going to try and come up with a way to get the rest of this white and black on here, even though it's severely setting up. And I think the best way is going to be to do the scoop method. Just to make sure we get a fair amount of each on these. As always, sorry for not talking more. Might even do a voiceover of this, just because I shouldn't maybe have done the talking anyways while making such a demanding soap that required so much of my attention. Just trying to get every little bit of soap out of here that I can. All right, we're gonna call that. Okay, those two. Now the black. There's not as much black in here, so I'm not sure what my plan is. My hands are cramping. Okay, calling that as good enough. So I am going to get out of this. Okay, so I'm going to ditch my gloves here and my shirt because it is hot in here. Now, I was watching Earthglow. I don't know if any of you guys watch Earthglow, but I was watching Earthglow, and he was using a fork to do this fun little design. And I was like, that's cool. So I think I'm gonna try it. My hand's sore. I find if I wear too small of gloves or do too much fiddly work, I end up with issues. So all he did was kind of this swooping thing with the fork, and it was kind of doing this cool design. I think I'm going to end up doing it from both sides, so mine won't necessarily be matching what he did, but I liked where his head was at, and I'm loving the way the swirl's coming through here. Okay, and I think I'm going to do the other side just to get that black to mush in too. A bit. It's kind of interesting. I say some spots are working out better than others. once you cut it, who knows, right? It's looking kind of cool. This feels like one of those black licorice candy things that you could get at Christmas time all the time. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, I am going, I don't want them. I'm going to say good enough with regards to that portion. I'm feeling the sparkles. What do I got? Yeah, some black ones, which is kind of cool. And I've got some silver and white. I think I'm going to start with the black ones. We'll see what happens. They're kind of cool. Just doing them straight down the middle here. I'm happy with that. Now I'm feeling the white. We might do all of them. Or just wait, maybe. I might not do the silver. This looks, it's got like a blue, I think this is the blue one. I can see the blue in it. It's kind of cool. Very cool shimmer on the top. And as you can see, I just did salt and pepper shakers, which has worked out really well. This is kind of cool. You guys probably won't be able to see it on camera, but it's got a very blue shimmer to it. I really like it. I'm wanting to overkill it and add silver. I'm doing it. Why not? Just start on one side and see how I feel about it. Oh yeah, no, it's a good choice. If you're gonna go sparkles, you might as well go crazy with them and really sparkle it up. The nice part about sparkles on soap is once you've used it once, it pretty much takes all the sparkles off and you don't have to have sparkles all the time. But it looks so pretty right now. I'm really happy with this. So we're gonna wait. I think I might spray it with rubbing alcohol. This is, just wanted to make sure. Let me give it a really good spray because I always seem to be getting soda ash. Well, more recently I've been getting a lot of soda ash, and I wasn't getting it all winter, so I think it has something to do with the weather maybe. But this one doesn't have the water discount in it, so it's probably very likely to be a problem. And hopefully this will help my glitter stick too. I'm really wishing right now that I had made little black balls for the top of this, the little gumball looking things. I think that would have been cool, but pretty happy with it. We're gonna leave it alone, stop fussing. Hey guys, Christina with Forever Bored Soapery here, and today I am going to be cutting my blackberry and sugared violet soap. I wasn't planning on cutting it today. It's only Friday. I made it yesterday, Thursday, but it did go through gel phase. Yay! So it's hardened up a little faster than I thought it was going to. So I thought I was just gonna have to wait till Tuesday because it's my full water recipe, but it's fine, and I'm gonna do it today because I think it'll be too hard by Tuesday if I leave it to sit that long. I don't know. So we're gonna go for it anyways. I don't know, well, we'll find out. I think it did soda ash a bit, but I think it's okay. It's still just a little bit soft on the ends themselves. I'm loving the color already. Maybe I'll show you guys. See the purples? Love it. Okay. Gotta get my husband to oil my chair again for me. It's squeaky. I have a market this afternoon in Kalmar. It's one of my best markets. I do really well there. The community really supports me, which I love and appreciate. This looks amazing. Love that. That's just the end piece. Oh, I love this so much. So much. You can see my layers didn't work out quite the way I was shooting for. I think just the way that this is kind of a little bit higher on the white on the sides, I think when I poured the black it was heavy enough to push it down, but still, look at that. Yay. I love that little swirl on the top. It's freaking awesome. That makes it for me. This is great. I like this so much that maybe I will keep it in my main line. Just because I love the way this looks. And then it's got the sparklies on the top. I don't know that you guys can see that on camera, but it is all sparkled up and looking amazing on top too. I'm so happy. You gotta love it when things don't necessarily go the way that you planned it. So I wanted those nice straight lines, which of course I didn't get, which doesn't surprise me. I am not as finely detailed and patient enough to sometimes get the really finicky designs and stuff, but I still adore the way that this came out. The little swirls on the top are everything. I love it. Love it. I love it. I love it. Even the end pieces are pretty. Okay, let's see what else we got here. See if any of them got a nice straight line. So what is the rule? You just need one for a good picture. Oh yeah, this one's much harder. Probably good I didn't leave it till Tuesday. I don't think it would have been very nice to try and cut if I waited that long. same thing here with the lines, but again, I don't care. I'm happy with it. They've all actually come out quite a bit similar in regards to design and such. They're fairly close to the same. Too close together, they're not going to air dry very well. Da, da, da. All right. I feel like these are nice fall colors too. That, which is nice. The won't be ready now until mid-September. Maybe even end of September, just depending on how they behave. So I'm okay with the colors being a little bit more fall orientated. That works out really well. I feel like I'm getting new shelving. It's coming today. It's just the IKEA Billy bookcases, nice and simple. But it's coming today. I don't know that I'll get any set up today, maybe a couple before I have to go to market, but I'm excited to get it all set up. I'm hoping when I do it that I'm actually going to have room for my curing soaps. I might have to buy one more shelf for that yet, but I just wanted to get these ones in first and see what the space look like. But I'm hoping that I can maybe get one more for my curing shelf, and then I'll just line it with like parchment paper or something. And then my customers can see what's coming up, you know, next. And maybe I'll have like little signs with their ready dates or something like that. So if they want to pre-order, or if they want to I don't know, come back, I guess, when it's released, that sort of thing. I'm thinking about doing something like that. They can see everything now. You guys can see everything curing on the rack behind me. So it's not that they can't see it now. I just get a lot of customers who really want to get up close and look at those, which isn't awful, but I kind of have this as my making area, and I think I would prefer not to have people coming back into this space, just for extra precautions for cleanliness, that sort of thing. It's not like they're running around touching everything or anything like that, but I think it's nice to have those spaces separate, you know, the spaces where my customers are, and then the spaces where all of my making is done. Seriously, like, I love this bar. I would buy this for myself. I love it that much. And it smells great. Like, it smells amazing. I am super, super happy with these. Love it so much. There we go. So it's a whole lot of gorgeousness. I adore it. I'm gonna bring it up nice and close. Maybe you guys will be able to see the sparkles this way. So we've got the beautiful soap, the awesome sparkles on top. And she just, yeah, she looks gorgeous. Like, she's so pretty. The colors are perfect in every